United Nations has declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. UPSC has already asked a few questions on millets like what kind of climate do millets require? So millets can grow even when the climate is hot and dry, there is not much water and even the soil is poor. Even then the millets can grow. 2016 question. Government has launched an initiative to promote millets. Will the poor farmers benefit from it? Yes, definitely. Because see, poor farmers don't have much money for irrigation. They don't have much fertile soil also. And millets can grow in such a situation. So definitely this millet promotion program will be very much beneficial to poor farmers. So statement number 2 is correct. Through this initiative, does the government want commercial crop growing farmers to shift to millet cultivation? No. Why not? Because see, if a rich farmer already has irrigation facilities, he has very good soil also, and he's making lots of profit by growing commercial crop, why would government want him to divert his resources for millet production, which virtually does not require much resources, right? And that too by giving him free kits. So it doesn't make any sense, right? So third statement is wrong and second is correct. And first statement is very generic, that through this initiative government will try to demonstrate that what are the new technologies for millet production. So yes, one is very generic statement, it will be correct. So 1 and 2 are correct and third is wrong. So millets are drought tolerant and they need less inputs like fertilizers and pesticides. They are also called as famine reserves because they can be quickly grown within 2-3 months and then they can be stored for many years. And they are mostly, not always, but mostly they are grown as kharif crop. In India, they have been grown for thousands of years. There are many health benefits of millets, like they are more nutritious than wheat and rice. They have calcium, iron, phosphorus, etc. So they are also called as nutri cereals. They have high fiber. They detoxify your body. They don't cause any allergy. They are gluten free and low in glycemic index. That means they are much beneficial for people with high sugar, and they prevent type 2 diabetes also. Some major millets are jawar, bajra, ragi. Minor millets are kodo, foxtail, proso, barnyard, and some pseudo millets are false millets, you can say, not proper millets. They are amaranth and buckwheat. India is world's largest millet producer. 30 to 40% of global production of millets happens in India. In India, the major millet producing states are Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and then Karnataka. Indian Institute of Millet Research was formed in 1958, headquartered in Hyderabad. It comes under ICAR. India celebrated 2018 as Year of Millets, and UN will celebrate 2023 as a Year of Millets. Climate Vulnerability Assessment Report has been brought by Ministry of Science and Technology. It identifies which states and districts of India are most vulnerable to climate change. It has identified that 8 eastern states are most vulnerable. Those states are Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, and the state above and below Assam, that is Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram. You don't have to remember their names, just remember the region. What is the meaning of vulnerability? See, vulnerability means your weakness. So this report tells which states or districts are weak, which may not be able to sustain the climate change easily. Suppose, as an example, there is a threat of drought. There is a threat of drought, and you are vulnerable because you don't have irrigation facilities on your farm. You are doing rain-fed agriculture, so it is your weakness. You are doing rain-fed agriculture. And what is the risk? The risk is that if drought actually happens, and since you don't have irrigation, therefore you won't be able to produce much crops. When most of the farmers are not able to produce the crops, there can be famines. So there is a risk of famines if you are vulnerable, right? To fight climate change in 2008, we launched National Action Plan on Climate Change. It has 8 missions. Just read their names 2 times. That's it. These national missions are on strategic knowledge on climate change, sustainable habitat, energy efficiency, solar mission, water mission, green India mission, sustainable agriculture, and sustaining the Himalayan ecosystem. There are two famous organizations which are IPCC and Ipbes. Both are intergovernmental panel, but IPCC focuses on climate change, whereas Ipbes focuses on biodiversity. The first one is a UN body headquartered in Geneva. Biodiversity body is not it is not a UN body. It is headquartered in Bonn, Germany. IPCC was established in 1988 by UNEP and WMO, whereas the biodiversity body was established in 2012 by 94 governments. IPCC and Ipbes, neither of them conduct their own research. Both of them simply compile the research done by other institutes and governments. IPCC got 2007 Nobel Peace Prize. Ipbes gets its secretariat services from UNEP. India has submitted a report to UNFCCC telling what progress we had made on climate change. India submits such a report after every 2 years. It is called as biennial update report, and the third report we have submitted right now. It has been prepared by Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. In this report we have informed that our emission intensity fell by 24% during the 10 years of 2005 to 2016. What is the meaning of emission intensity? In 2005, we used to make a car. Making that car, when you make a car, you produce steel, you produce tires, you assemble them. In all the process, some carbon dioxide is released, greenhouse gases are released. In 2005, when we used to make a car, suppose we used to emit 100 units of CO2. But in 2016, we are emitting only 76 units of CO2 to make the same car. Right? So we have made our processes more efficient and more clean. Right? What is India's target? Under India's INDCs, our target is that by 2030, our emission intensity should reduce by 33%. And by 2016, we had already reduced it by 24%. So in the next 15 years, we have to reduce this just by another 10%. Please make a correction in page number 4, where I had told about India's INDCs. There I had written reduce emissions by 33%. No, that is reduce emissions intensity by 33%. Right? So that is one thing. Another thing, that our absolute emissions have increased because the size of the GDP is increasing, right? So it is the emission intensity, that is per unit GDP, that has decreased, but emissions are obviously increasing. In this report, we have also mentioned that how we have been able to achieve this feat. And some examples which have been given in this report are, which is not relevant for your exam, but two things are important. One is direct seeding of rice. So direct seeding of rice we have already discussed on page number 50. Another thing is neem coated urea. So neem coated urea is basically, the concept is this. This is a plant and we give urea so that urea will release nitrogen and the plant will take up the nitrogen and will have better growth. But when urea releases nitrogen, it releases nitrogen quite fast, and what happens is that plant is able to take only less nitrogen and most of the nitrogen is lost to the environment. By coating the urea with neem, what we are doing is we are slowing down this process. That is, from urea, nitrogen will be slowly released. Now since nitrogen will be slowly released, most of the nitrogen will be taken up by the plant and less nitrogen will be lost to the environment. Right? So that is the biggest benefit of neem coating urea. That was the answer of your 2016 question. That neem coating slows down the rate of dissolution of urea in soil. Another advantage is earlier urea used to be leaked towards the industrial uses. But now since it is neem coated, therefore almost no urea is now filtrated or leaked towards the industry. Most of it is now used in the agriculture itself. Emission norms for coal power plants and the fly ash, these things you need not learn. Whatever UPSC can ask in the prelims, that we have already discussed on page number 16, 17 and 18. What are Treme stage norms? These are emission norms for tractors, harvesters or other farm machinery. So remember, Treme means tractor emission, right? So Treme norms are for tractors or farm equipments. CEV norms are for construction equipment vehicles like these. These are construction equipment vehicles, right? So whatever are the Bharat stage norms for cars and scooters, those Bharat stage 6 norms are not applicable on farm machinery, tractors or construction equipment. For them there are different emission norms. What UPSC can ask is that Bharat stage norms are issued by CPCB, which comes under Ministry of Environment. But these Treme stage norms and CEV stage norms are not issued by Ministry of Environment. They are issued by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Okay, this you have to remember. Treme stage 4 norms will come into force from October 2021. These are not applicable to all the tractors. They are applicable only on those tractors which are more powerful than 50 horsepower. Of the total tractors in India, only 7% tractors are more than 50 horsepower, right? So therefore, it will have very less impact. Central Pollution Control Board is a statutory body under Ministry of Environment, formed in 1974 under Water Act 1974. Under EPA 1986, it gives technical services to the Ministry of Environment. Under many other laws also, it has various powers. Bharat stage norms. India simply jumped from Bharat stage 4 to Bharat stage 6 norms in April 2020, skipping the Bharat stage 5 norms. However, Delhi became the first city in 2018 to run on Bharat stage 6 fuel. So basically, Bharat stage norms are not just for your car manufacturers. They are also for the oil marketing companies. Oil marketing companies should also supply cleaner fuel, right? So these norms are based on Euro emission norms. They are issued by CPCB. India first adopted the Bharat stage norms in the year 2000, called as India 2000 norms. Bharat stage 6 is better than Bharat stage 4 because it has less SOx emissions. Here sulfur dioxide emissions are just 10 parts per million instead of 50 ppm earlier. Similarly, NOx emissions are also 70% less in diesel engines and 25% less in petrol engines. These norms, Bharat stage 6 norms, apply to two-wheeler, three-wheeler, car, truck, buses, everything, but not aeroplanes, not tractors, not construction equipment vehicles. Recently, International Energy Agency did a study in which it tried to find out what is causing the air pollution in India. As per this study, the biggest source of air pollution in India are the coal power plants. So this is the article and this is the data. You don't have to learn them. The relevant thing you have to learn for a prelims examination is the biggest source of air pollution in India is coal power plants. The biggest source of sulfur dioxide emission is again coal power plant, and the biggest source of NOx emissions is transport sector. Marine litter. So marine litter we have already studied on page number 23. On page number 23 we had seen the marine litter, some agencies, the previous year question on microbeads, everything, right? Just addition is simply that there is another partnership called as Glow Litter Partnerships Project. It is an initiative of International Maritime Organization, Food and Agriculture Organization and Norway. Through this partnership, they will help developing countries to reduce their marine litter. FAO and IMO both are specialized agency of the UN. FAO was formed in 1945, has its headquartered in Rome. IMO, headquartered in London, formed in 1948. What is the difference between bioaccumulation and biomagnification? Bioaccumulation happens on the same tropic level, whereas biomagnification happens up the tropic levels. How? What is the logic? Logic is quite simple. Assume that there is a factory. This factory gives out polluted water. That polluted water has mercury in it. Total 10 grams of mercury was spread over the whole grassland. The grasses in this grassland were of 1 lakh kg. Just assume, very simple example. There were grasses of 1 lakh kg here, and on those 1 lakh kg there was 10 grams of mercury. Right? Now these 1 lakh kg of grass, slowly a group of deer will eat. Now mercury does not degrade. Mercury, the whole 10 grams of mercury will be transferred to these deers. But the weight of deer is less. These all the deers collectively weigh only 10,000 kg. Now 10 grams of mercury is in 10,000 kg of mass. Now these deers will be eaten slowly by the lion, which weighs 1000 kg. So now 10 grams of mercury is in 1000 kg lion. So you see, in the lion, the concentration of mercury is much more as compared to the concentration of mercury in the grassland. Right? So the concentration increases up the tropic chain. Right? So that is magnification. The concentration is magnifying. Whereas when the deers were slowly eating the grass every day, then slowly the mercury was accumulating in the individual deers. So accumulation happens in the same tropic chain. Now see the 2010 question. It says that there is some pesticide on the food crop and rat has eaten that food crop. Snake will eat the rat and hawk will eat the snake. So the highest concentration will accumulate in which of the following? So you will think, is UPSC asking about accumulation? Then you will mark food crop or rat as a right answer. No, here he is asking highest concentration. So highest concentration, as I explained, will be in the highest tropic level. That is in the hawk. Right? So don't get confused just because of the accumulate word has been used. Don't think that food crop is answer. Right? The concentration is being asked in this question. So what substances do actually bioaccumulate or biomagnify? Substances which do not degrade, like mercury does not degrade. So it will remain mercury. It will remain today also, and after 2 years also it will remain there. Right? So it does not degrade. It is not easily excreted. Deers could not excrete the mercury because mercury got absorbed in its fats. Right? Mercury or any other substance which dissolves in your fats is not easily excreted, will get slowly bioaccumulation, and then slowly it will biomagnify up the tropic chain. Some examples are mercury and persistent organic pollutants. Persistent organic pollutants we have already studied on page number 21. What are dead zones in water bodies? Dead zone means some portion in a water body which has very less oxygen. It has so less oxygen that fishes and other water organisms are not able to survive. Why does this happen? One thing can be higher water temperature, like global warming. So what can happen is, see, gases are dissolved in water, but when the temperature of the water is more, then less gases are dissolved. So warmer water is able to hold less oxygen. So that can be one reason, but that is not the major reason. The major reason is eutrophication. See, what happens is, suppose this is a farmland and for irrigation you are supplying nutrients to the farm. When you are using flood irrigation or there is rainfall, then these nutrients will slowly flow down into the river. From the river, these nutrients will accumulate in some lake or in some ocean. Now in that water body, there may be a place where there may be very high concentration of such nutrients. Due to such high nutrients availability, there will be excess growth of algae. Now such algae blooms will happen, and finally when the algae will die and decompose, then the decomposition of algae will use up most of the oxygen of the water. So almost no oxygen will be left for fishes and other organisms of the water, and they may not be able to survive there, and hence we will call this zone as dead zone. This eutrophication need not necessarily be due to farming only. In fact, from our cities, all the liquid sewage that goes out, all that sewage is nutrient rich, and that flows into the rivers and then ultimately to some ponds or to the sea, right? One such dead zone has been observed in the Bay of Bengal also. So just please remember the term eutrophication. What are seaweeds? You can say that any plant or any algae that is growing in any water body, that is a type of seaweed. So be it any microscopic phytoplanktons, or be it the kelps, be it any water plant like in this photo, all these are type of seaweeds. There are many benefits of seaweeds. Many of them are edible and nutrient rich. Okay, they are very tasty also and very nutrient rich also. You can eat them. They are used in medicines. They are used for to get chemicals for the industries, in cosmetics, or they can be used to make biofuel also. Over half the global production of seaweeds is done by China. In India also seaweeds are produced and used, but very less. Mostly it is done in Tamil Nadu's Palk Bay area. Government of India has announced that they are going to construct there a multi-purpose seaweed park, whereby government will promote the production of seaweeds and the post-harvesting processing also. Coastal Regulation Zone notifications. One was issued in 1991, then in 2011, then in 2018. You don't have to learn the details. This figure shows the coastal regulation zone subzoning as per 2011 notification. This diagram shows the subzoning as per 2018 notification, but you don't have to learn these subzonings. I have mentioned here the subzoning as per the 2018 notification, but I still say you don't have to read them. HTL means high tide line and LTL means low tide line. So water is here at low tide line, and sometimes at the high tide water will come up till here, so that is high tide line. So based on that some zonings are done. Up to 500 meters from the high tide line, that is a coastal regulation zone, and then subzoning is done. Just remember that 2018 notification allowed more activities near the coast as compared to the 2011 notification. All these notifications are issued by Ministry of Environment under which law? Under EPA 1986. The 2018 notification was issued by the ministry based on which committee's recommendation? Shailesh Nayak committee recommendations. Okay. Which state in India has the longest coastline? See this figure. It is Gujarat. And state with shortest coastline is West Bengal. West Bengal, most of the area of West Bengal is with Bangladesh. So it has a very small coastline, right? So the total coastline of India is 7,500 kilometers. Mainland coast is 5,400 kilometers and islands coast is 2,000 kilometers. Longest coastline Gujarat 1214 kilometer. Shortest coastline West Bengal 157 kilometers. What is Ro-Ro and Ro-Pax? So see this ferry. So here there is a ramp and through this ramp automobile vehicles can roll on and they can roll off. So it's a Ro-Ro service. If you are also allowing this facility for passengers also, then it is a Ro-Pax service. Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan. Okay, so this program is being implemented since 2010 with assistance of World Bank. It is to manage both the livelihoods of the fishermen and other people and the environment conservation. What is SICOM? Society for Integrated Coastal Management. This society comes under Ministry of Environment. It implements some programs like Integrated Coastal Zone Management and ENCORE. It is also a program, details are not important. UPSC can ask, where is National Center for Sustainable Coastal Management? It is in Chennai. It also comes under Ministry of Environment. This is 5th class of environment. We have discussed few pages here. Rest of the pages you can read yourself. You can download the PDF from website allinclusiveias.com. So what happens is, in each class the entire PDF is totally free, which you can download from the website. But of that PDF, only few pages we explain on the YouTube. Rest of the pages either you can read yourself, or for those pages you have to know the explanation of those pages, you have to buy our paid course. So in each class, few pages are explained on YouTube and rest of the pages are explained in our paid course. So our paid course, you have to get this paid course, you have to pay 250 rupees for the English video. Like in this video, I have explained everything in using English language. My voice is in English here, right? So for this you have to pay 250 rupees and you will get access to all these paid portion of the classes of Environment Current Affairs. How to join them? Choose a platform, whether you want to see them on the mobile app or on the laptop. Suppose you want to see the videos on the mobile app, then the link to download the app is given in the description box of this video. Click on that link and you will download the mobile app either on the Android or on the Apple mobile phones or iPad. Apple users, after installing this app, please enter organization code as MXLDF. Once the application is installed, open Store at the bottom of the screen in the mobile app. Click on the course you want to purchase, make the payment, then again open the store and see the course you have purchased. You will be able to see the videos. If you want to see the videos on the laptop, then click on the link given in the description box of this video. After clicking on the link, register yourself, make the payment. After payment, click on My Courses. You will be able to access the videos. Please make payment only on the platform on which you want to see the videos. If you want to see the videos, please make payment only on the mobile app. If you want to see the videos on laptop, then please make the payment through the laptop. PDFs are totally free. We are talking only about the paid part of the explanation videos. If you want notification of our next video, then please click on subscribe, and after clicking on subscribe, click on the bell icon. Whenever we release our next video, you will get the notification. Thank you.